We all know about the story of Moses, right? Moses was the great leader of the Jewish people, and he led them out of slavery from Egypt, and eventually leads them to the promised land, right? So he did the parting of the Red Sea. He did so many amazing things. But did you know that Moses at first, he was very scared. He didn't want to do this. He was a shepherd. Moses was a shepherd, and he was happy with his life. He was contented. He wasn't earning a lot of money. He was just a shepherd. It was okay. He was married, and he wasn't achieving a lot, but he was okay with his life until God called him to do something greater. God called him out. He spoke to him through a burning bush and called him out and said, "Moses, I need you to set my people free." And we know that, spoiler, we know that Moses did it, but he didn't want to do it. He was scared. He was terrified. And he gave God 5 excuses, right? He gave God 5 excuses. So the first excuse, let's go over this. The first excuse was, he said, "God, I'm not good enough." In Exodus chapter 3, verse 11, he says, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt?" And he basically says, "Sino ba ako? Who am I? I'm not, wala lang. I'm just a shepherd. I'm not good enough. I don't have the skills. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the qualifications to do this." His second excuse was, "I don't know the answers. I don't have all the answers." So, verse 13, "And Moses said to God, 'Indeed, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them?'" He didn't know what to say. And he told God, "What will I tell them? I don't know what to say." Excuse number 3, "The people won't believe me." That's his third excuse. He said, Exodus chapter 4, verse 1 says, "Then Moses answered and said, 'But suppose they will not believe me or listen to my voice. Suppose they say, the Lord has not appeared to you.'" They'll call him a liar. And he's scared that people won't trust him. People won't believe him. Excuse number 4, "I'm not a good speaker." Exodus 4:10, "Then Moses said to the Lord, 'O Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue.'" I'm not good in English. That's what he said. So that was his 4th excuse. And the 5th excuse, the last excuse, is, "I'm not qualified." 4:13, he said, "Oh my Lord," he said, "why me? Bakit ako? Why don't you just send somebody else?" That was the 5th one. He said, "Oh my Lord, please send by the hand of whomever else you may send." So he said, "Lord, pwede ba siya na lang?" That's what he was saying. He didn't want to take up the challenge of setting the Israelites free of slavery. But we know that he did it in the end, right? Because God is a God who enables us. He gives us the tools. He gives us the strength and the wisdom, because Moses was not good enough. He really wasn't good enough. But he had God on his side. He was blessed. And sometimes, we can say that we're not good enough. We can't do this on our own. But God is a God, is somebody who enables us. He gives us the strength. All you have to do is pray for the strength, pray for the ability, pray for the wisdom, and he can give it to us. But let's go over these excuses. His first excuse was, "I'm not good enough." He didn't believe in himself. And a lot of us, when I talk to a lot of freelancers, a lot of them say, or potential freelancers, they say, "Di ko kaya yun. I can't do it." But so what are you going to do? The thing is, God has given you the resources to learn. You can watch videos, you can take courses, you can study, and you can learn it. So even if you say, "I'm not good enough," even if you say, "Hindi ko kaya," you can start learning about it. And the second Moses' second excuse, I don't know the answers. I don't know all the answers, right? That was his second excuse. Well, same thing. We can learn the answers, right? And God will give us the wisdom. This goes with excuse 3. People won't believe me in excuse 4. I'm a terrible speaker. And if we relate this to freelancing, we can think that, maybe when I'm talking to clients, I'm not very good in English. Or if I say it in Bisaya, I'm not very good in English. I don't know how to. The client will not trust me because I'm not very good. But that's, even if you're not, like Moses wasn't, maybe he wasn't the best speaker at the time, but God gave him the strength and the ability to do so. So even if you're not the best English speaker, you don't even need to be the best speaker. You don't need to have the best abilities, right? You don't need them. When I hear people tell me these things that are in my list right now, these are excuses, and these are the excuses that Moses gave to God when God called him to do something greater. So if you're trying to do something greater, if you want to achieve new things, achieve new goals, reach new heights, there will always be a way to find excuses. You can always say, I'm not good enough. I don't have the answers. I'm not good in English. People won't believe me. Why? Pwede siya na lang. We can have all of these excuses no matter what. But that's what these are. These are just excuses. And, God guided Moses so that he could get past these excuses and he could do it. So if you're praying for a better freelancing job or a freelancing job in general, and then you're thinking of excuses, you're thinking, di naman ako magaling. Hindi ako magaling sa English. Wala akong alam. Siya na lang mag-freelance. When we think of all these things, just remember this story here. Just remember that Moses gave these excuses and God said, come on, I will provide for you. I will give you the strength. Just do it. And I will be the one to help you out. Because God is someone who enables us. And He will enable you and give you that strength as well so that you can do something great. Be blessed, Flip.